Today on Public Eye News, the state of Michigan continues its fight against the opioid epidemic, and the search for the missing Wisconsin teen continues.
Adam Diaz will take a look at weather for us, and Devon will be back later for updates on the World Series and other news from the sports world. Hi, I'm Grant Lukens.
I'm Devon Lanier, and this is Public Eye News. It's that time of year again, the spooky season known as Halloween, and to celebrate, there are two chances to get your thrills from two different stage shows. Sweeney Todd will occupy the Forrest Roberts Theater starting this Friday night, running to Saturday, November 3rd. If a trip to the barbershop isn't quite your taste, there's another show opening up this weekend. Rocky Horror Show opens up this Friday as well, with showtime at 7 o'clock. Speaking of Halloween, trick-or-treating times and days have been released for UP cities. They are as follows: Marquette business hours, 4 to 6 p.m., October 27th. Ishpeming City, 4 to 7 p.m., October 31st. Ishpeming Township, 5 to 7 p.m., Gwen, 5 to 7 p.m., Negaunee, 4 to 7 p.m., October 31st, Houghton, 5 to 8 p.m., and Escanaba, 5 to 7 p.m., October 31st.
All this week, Marquette schools are taking part in Bus Safety Week. The purpose of Bus Safety Week is to teach kids and adults how to be safe both on and around the bus. Modern-day buses use CCTV cameras to monitor students for violation of the rules, like distracting the driver or bullying other students. Marquette PD says it's important to stop for school buses when they are picking up and dropping off students. Kids are taught to wait for the bus driver to say it's okay to cross, but it's also on drivers to be safe. The Marquette City Planning met on Tuesday night at Lakeview Arena to hear public input on their draft land development code and proposed changes to their master plan. The Planning Commission has started changing the zoning ordinance and the master plan over a year ago with help from consultants. They hope to focus on bigger picture items like areas of growth, waterfront properties, and the old hospital property. Another ordinance they hope to change is to allow chickens, rabbits, and bees on properties, which many residents do illegally. The commission said it's important to update the zoning rules because they have not been changed since the 70s.
Lieutenant Governor Brian Calley announced new website has been created in order to control the rate of opioid-related deaths in our state. Calley said, quote, trying to find helpful information and resources about the opioid addiction epidemic should not be difficult, end quote. The new website provides Michiganders with the information they need to combat this drug-infused epidemic. The website provides its users with every tool they may require as a first line of defense against an epidemic that has claimed the lives of 6,000 Michiganders in the last 4 years. For more information, visit www.michigan.gov/opioids. And 21 million fish have been stocked to Michigan's public fishing areas this year. The Department of Natural Resources have tracked to almost 800 stocking sites for lakes and inland water sources. This year's total includes over 14 million walleye spring fingerlings and fry provided by the DNR and tribal partners. Over 8 different species, including rainbow trout, Chinook salmon, and steelhead, have been provided to the 6 state hatcheries and 2 cooperative hatcheries throughout Michigan. And coming up after the break, we'll have your national and international news.
I knew what I was accepting when my passage out here was paid. To marry a man I'd never set eyes on before.
I like the look of you. We've waited 12 years for this.
You have been brought here as the property of your husband, and you will behave accordingly.
What if these men have been on their own for so long they're not men anymore?
If we are to be free, we must possess their minds, their souls.
Thursday at 10 p.m. and Friday afternoon at 2 p.m.
Welcome back. Explosive devices had been sent to former President Obama, the Clintons, and prominent CNN figures. There were no reported injuries and no detonations of the bombs were reported. President Trump and Vice President Pence condemned the attack, saying it's cowardly and has no place in this country. Secret Service is investigating the case, but could not comment on the case because it's currently an ongoing investigation. Saudi Arabia's powerful crown prince has broken his silence about the death of Washington Post contributor Jamal Khashoggi. The Arab Kingdom is scrambling to carry out damage control over the incident that has sparked international outrage. Mola Lenghi has the latest from the White House.
Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is calling the murder of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi a heinous crime that cannot be justified. It was the prince's first public comments about the killing since the frequent critic of the royal family disappeared on October 2nd. Saudi Arabia says Khashoggi was killed in a fistfight, while Turkey believes a 15-member assassination squad murdered him in the Saudi consulate. The United States is revoking the visas for 21 Saudis the U.S. has identified as being involved in the operation.
These penalties will not be the last word on this matter from the United States. We will continue to explore additional measures to hold those responsible accountable.
President Trump is still stressing the importance of the U.S.-Saudi relationship, but now says the Saudis' explanation of Khashoggi's disappearance is the worst cover-up in history.
The cover-up was horrible, the execution was horrible, but they should have never been at an execution or a cover-up, because it should have never happened.
There's still no official word on what the Saudis did with Khashoggi's body. In Istanbul yesterday, police searched a car abandoned in an underground parking lot registered to the Saudi consulate. But Turkish media is reporting they found no significant evidence linking it to Khashoggi. Mola Lenghi, CBS News, the White House.
Saudi Prime Minister Imran Khan attended an investment conference before giving Pakistan a $6 billion assistance to help them get out of debt. Analysts say the infusion will allow Pakistan to look better as they seek a loan to pay off debts. The deal was signed Tuesday by Pakistan's financial minister and the financial counterpart in Saudi Arabia. Khan let the deal go through despite outcry from his country's people. The search for missing Wisconsin teen Jamie Kloss continues. We'll now hear more from Barron, Wisconsin.
What's your last name?
One by one, mothers, fathers, strangers from around the state and beyond ventured back to this soybean field in Barron County.
As most of you know, we're searching for 13-year-old Jamie Kloss.
The final steps of a days-long journey to find the girl they consider one of their own.
It's now day 8.
You gotta do what you can to help.
Vicki Longhenry started her morning just like roughly 2,000 other volunteers did.
Today we're going to be searching a 2-square-mile area for anything pertinent to that search.
Navigating fields, forests, and ditches in search of clues related to Jamie Kloss's disappearance and the deaths of her parents. They looked for items as small as hair ties, things a 13-year-old might carry.
Well, it's just so surreal being out there, you know, and you have your heart right here the whole time, and every time you don't find one little thing. You don't want to lose hope.
Back at the staging area,
each bag had a sandwich, chips, a cookie, and fruit.
Salvation Army volunteers work to keep everyone fed and hydrated with the food prepared by local businesses, churches, and civic groups.
This is really heartwarming because you're looking at every aspect of life helping.
It's one of the few bright spots on what's been a challenging week for investigators.
And just seeing the amount of people out here and the excitement and the hope is what we're riding on right now.
As the day came to an end, Longhenry was devastated. No new evidence was found, but her faith remains strong as ever.
Search after search, if that's what it takes, I'll be out.
And after the break, we'll be back with your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
Been around the world, but there's one place I keep coming back to. This week on UTR, we're back in one of our go-to, Traverse City. We'll show you where pirates putt, a rare bird of a brew pub, and a chateau you'll want to share. Then it's out for a movie, outside that is, and a person who helps animals heal. This isn't under the radar, you just gotta see.
Thursday at 9:30, Friday at 5, and Saturday night at 10:30.
Hi, and welcome back to your Public Eye News weather. I'm Am Diaz, your weatherman for today, and it is a chilly NMU campus today. Let's look at our current conditions. We are looking at partly cloudy, the temperature at 40 degrees, winds east-northeast at 2 miles an hour. Barometric pressure is at 30.42 and falling. Looking at tonight, we're looking at it's going to be partly cloudy, the low of 35, wind south-southwest at 8 miles an hour. Looking towards tomorrow, we're also looking at cloudy, high of 51, wind south-southwest at 7 miles an hour. Looking across the UP, it is very cloudy today, but the sun trying to peek out at certain spots. And we're starting at Sault Ste. Marie at 40 degrees, Manistique at 40, and then we're going over to Escanaba at 43, Menominee 44, Iron Mountains 43, Ironwood 47, and sunny. And then we're going over to Houghton, 46, and going over to beautiful Marquette at 40 degrees. Looking ahead into our week, on Friday, we're going to a high of 46, a low of 37, and light rain. Saturday, high of 44, low of 36, and showers. Sunday, high of 40, the low of 34, and sun. We're looking at a decent week, and I hear that you're hitting one out of the park.
Yeah, it should shape up for some great baseball. Thank you, Adam. It was an all-out slugfest last night at Fenway Park as Boston Red Sox defeated the LA Dodgers 8-4 in Game 1 of the World Series. Though the hyped-up pitching match between Clayton Kershaw and Chris Sale failed to live up to its billing, the Red Sox nonetheless found a way to outslug the Dodgers en route to victory. The win means they now possess a 1-0 lead in the best-of-7 series with the chance to move ahead to 2-0 with another W in Wednesday night's Game 2. And the World Series will resume on Wednesday night at 8:09 p.m. Eastern Time, and pitchers David Price and Hyunjin Ryu will face off in another battle of the Southpaws. A little closer to home in the football world, the New York Giants are trading star defensive tackle Damon Snacks Harrison to the Detroit Lions. The Giants will reportedly receive a fifth-round draft pick in 2019 for the stalwart in the middle of the defensive line, according to initial reports. The deal, which has not been announced, comes from a person with knowledge of it who spoke on conditions of anonymity. ESPN, who was the first to report the trade, which comes less than a week before the NFL's trading deadline at 4 p.m. Tuesday. Detroit head coach Matt Patricia said Wednesday he refuses to comment until the deal is complete, but added, quote, "We have spoken to the Giants. That is true," unquote. Senior guard Naba Echols was named the GLIAC Conference Preseason Player of the Year with Northern Michigan University men's basketball team picked to finish second in the GLIAC North this season. The Wildcats were selected to second in the GLIAC North after being voted on by the league's coaches. The team is coming off their first GLIAC tournament appearance since the 2005-2006 season, and they will look to use the experience and success they earned during 2017-18 to make a play toward a GLIAC title. NMU basketball will get started with a visit to Michigan State Tuesday, October 30th, and the Cats season will begin Saturday, November 10th in the Berry Events Center. And Grant, I hear you have somewhat of a story for us today.
That's right, I do. A judge put down the gavel and chased two inmates who attempted to escape his courtroom in Washington State. Judge R.W. Buzzard leapt into action when 22-year-old Tanner Jacobson and 28-year-old Cody Howard ran for the door and stairwell in a breakout attempt. Buzzard grabbed Howard before he managed to escape, and police apprehended Jacobson a few blocks away. And a man who's claiming to be his brother to get out of jail time is being sent right back to prison. Raul Prado claimed to be his brother, Gene Vernet Prado, in order to escape his 25-year prison sentence for drug possession. Raul has also claimed he was a Cuban pilot who used his brother's ID to get out of Cuba. There is no evidence his brother even exists. And that's all the time we have for today. Tune in tomorrow for more Public Eye News.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.